Well, today I decided I'm going to take a ride into the old hood. We're talking old hood. I'll show you a few little landmarks here of beautiful East San Jose. This is the infamous King and Story. Boy, a lot has changed here. This was the old site of the Tropicana Market years ago, or Tropicana Shopping Center. Right there used to house Newberry, where I bought probably my first one. Now we're going to turn on Havana. Every street in here was named after cities and things in Florida. And here is my old street. And look, there's an old gal or somebody delivering paper. That is, I still remember this palm tree. And look how friggin' tall it is now. Amazing. 1787, Tampa Way. This was the house I was born in. And good thing they got an alarm on there. No shit. But doesn't look like anything like it does when I lived here, of course. Looks like they've done a pretty good job of fixing it up. And way in the back, I don't know if you can see, there's an old shed. Look way back there. I think my dad must have, my dad had put that in for his little studio. He was a musician. And then my grandfather, years later, kind of became his shed. Alright, we're going to go take a little ride over to my elementary school. So here we are at my old elementary school, Slonaker. Looks pretty much the same. They got it all, of course now they have it all gated up. I was hoping I could get inside and walk down some of the halls. Or maybe I'll go around the other side and see if I can get in. I want to say my fourth, probably fifth grade classes were down that corridor there, down that hallway. This is all new here. I'm pretty sure my whole school life I never took a dump, because remember back then not even having stalls. So imagine being a 8-year-old kid and crapping in front of your classmates. Not cool. There's the old playground, basketball courts. Over there was the old cafeteria. I remember this drinking fountain. I want to say it was like second grade. And I couldn't hold it. I had peed my pants. And I'm going, what am I gonna do? So I immediately ran over to that drinking fountain and acted like I spilt water on me, and made sure everybody knew that I spilt water on me, just so I could get out of the embarrassment of actually wetting myself at school. Again, that's the old cafeteria. And there, I can't remember, I was in K1 class or K2, but that was my old kindergarten class. Growing up on the east side of San Jose, I was exposed to a pretty diverse group of people and classmates. We had just about everything. And I remember on this very playground one Saturday I was down here playing, and I see this pamphlet on the ground, and I go down to pick it up, and it was an actual Black Panther coloring book. And they had pictures of black kids at the time questioning authority, I think one page, the kid was getting in I don't know, something to do with a policeman, and I took it home and I go, Mom, what is this? And, she really, I don't think she could really explain, but, growing up on the east side, black, white, Hispanics, when you're young like that, you don't have any, that's just normal. You don't know color, you don't know, it's just normal. I think really, but my first real exposure when I kind of, my first exposure to like racism was, I want to say maybe 5th grade. And if you look back here, back then they called them the projects. They had built these low-income housing back of our school. And I remember up 4th or 5th grade and having a real influx of new kids coming into school, kids that I didn't grow up with through kindergarten. And I remember having a lot of new black kids moving in. And I had this one kid, Donald, that I grew up with, from kindergarten on up. Nice kid, and I've told this story many times. One day I was walking home and I get jumped by 3 black guys, and they just beat the living shit out of me. And I look at first, I didn't know what hit me, and then look up, I see one of them is Donald, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me why Donald, my friend, was beating the living shit out of my white cracker ass. And I remember seeing him maybe about a week later, and it was just him. And he came up to me and he said, Dave, I'm sorry. I said, Donald, what the hell's going on? He goes, I had to. I said, what do you mean you had to? And, in his, these new kids that moved in, and it was a turbulent time back then. You're talking the late 60s. A lot of social unrest, a lot of things going on, and especially as a 5th grader, you really don't fully understand the whole impact. But this was his way of being accepted by these new kids. And, it took me years later to finally understand and realize, he did have to do it. It was all about survival back then, and being accepted. And so, I kind of forgave him in my own way, but it was just very hard understanding at that time and at that moment. Pretty weird to go back, 40 plus years ago, or just be standing here some 40 some years ago and looking back and going, wow, this is where I came from.